I would have told my 20-year-old self, it's okay to come out now. You're going to be supported. And even if your family isn't going to support you, because many families don't support, you will find a family, a chosen family, that will support you.
Well, today's an extra special episode because not only are we here recording an incredible podcast that we're going to enjoy listening to, but we're also filming a television segment today for national TV. So today's an extra special day. And not only is that true, do you know what makes life special? It's the people in it. And you know, our podcast is called Believe Bolder. Well, for a reason. We seek out the individuals in life that unlock life differently, because so many of us follow a path that was either chosen for us or ones that we found ourselves in. And then there's other people, the innovators, the pioneers that disrupt normal in life and make something beautiful happen outside of what was just before. And today, we're going to go a little deeper into that topic. In fact, today is super special. We're here in Palm Springs. We're here at the KGAY radio station, FM 106.5 and 92.1, right here in the Coachella Valley. And isn't that incredible? A gay radio station, KGAY, in fact. And today we are with Brad Fuhr himself. Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
Scott, it's good to see you again. It's been a year since we got together and filmed a little episode of your TV show, American Dream.
Yeah, that was something, wasn't it?
Oh,
you know, my favorite episode out of any episode yet is the one we crafted together. It is so much fun, and I'm so glad to be back together.
Me too.
You know why? Because what the television shows, they give us a moment to explore a story. What I love about podcasting is that it invites us to go deeper together.
Agreed.
And there's so much that I discovered once I got to discover who you are, Brad. And I found out who you were because while I was driving here in the desert, for those of us that visit Palm Springs community in the Coachella Valley or live here, you're bound to find great signage describing KGAY. And Brad, I'll never forget driving and seeing it on the 111. I saw this poster. I'm like, KGAY?
Yeah.
There's a gay radio station? No way.
I know. That's what people say. And we get discovered all over the planet because of some of that advertising and some other things where we are out there on social media with a TikTok video or something that you did with us, and that got tons of exposure. So people have really found out about us. And our listeners can't see this, but we've got a map up on the wall. It's a television screen that is showing where all the listeners to KGAY are right now. And what do we see? We see France. We see over there, and then down, and we see Japan, Mexico,
oh my goodness,
Canada.
Yes.
All these
and
countries.
Then the whole nation is lit up. Oh my gosh. And that's everybody listening right now. This is live listeners streaming
KGAY throughout the world.
Isn't that delicious?
Yes.
You know, that's why I love us together right now. Brad, look at me say, I almost said I'm an older man. Okay, let me rephrase.
Don't say that.
No, I'm not. I got to rephrase. I'm going to back up a minute and just simply say I'm a man that is grown up in a society when I was younger. I grew up in Arizona, and I really didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like there was a community that invited me to be my authentic gay self. And as I was growing up through that understanding, it was really challenging, actually, often in time, because I just wanted to be accepted.
Right.
I wanted to fit in, and I didn't always feel normal. It felt like, why am I not like them? And so here we are today. And what I'm in love with, Brad, is that you've inspired. You continue to inspire through the work you do, belief that we all belong, that we all fit in, and that we're all authentically unique individuals.
And we want that so badly for every letter of our community. And I think that's the heartbreaking thing that I'm seeing right now is the transgender community being picked on and picked apart by this administration, by individuals, and it causes the hate that results sometimes in violence against our transgender community, and certainly fear and caution. Right? It's just and it's so unnecessary. This just is not needed in today's world. The trans community should be a part of our huge LGBTQ plus alphabet, and it they should just be a part of our world. I have two trans cousins, second cousins. I've got trans friends. It took me a while to understand the trans community, and I think for everyone it's an education process. But once you know and once you understand that these are human beings like you or I or anyone else, the humanity that comes along with that understanding changes hearts and minds.
I love all of that. It's so true. And okay, I'll never forget. His name is Bill, and it was the year I was the state president for California's Lending Association. Now he is definitely an older gentleman in his 70s, but he was still passionate about industry. And Bill came up to me. We were in Napa. We were at the resort, and we were about ready to have the big event award night. And he said to me, he goes, "Scott, can I share something with you?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Scott, getting to know you and Jack, I need you to know that I never understood the gay culture, and I never connected to it growing up. But getting to know you both, I want you to know I have a different vision of what I think it means to be a gay individual. And that's because of you, Scott. I just want you to know you've changed this old man's mind about what it is." And this, I'm just getting super touched right now because, Brad, you and the team at your radio station, at your Gay Desert Guide, I can't wait to explore that more together, is your gift of normalizing a community and inviting a community to feel as if they belong. Why? Because they do. And so as I think about what we're talking about right now, we're in current times about transgenders getting really affected as part of the whole community. Well, allow us to go back a few steps further. And let's start with the gay community as a whole finding its voice.
Indeed.
And it was in the early 70s through Stonewall. Was that when that took place?
That was actually 1969, I think it was.
Very late 60s, early 70s, when the voice of change was proudly.
Right. And it triggered riots in New York City, small scale riots, some brick throwing and things like that. And because the gay community at that time and the transgender, there were many transgender people at the bar. They were tired of being harassed by the police. They were being arrested and rearrested, and they were being bullied, and they were being marginalized. And they just said, enough is enough. And so that's where that movement actually started. And, years later, we bring it back to Palm Springs. Palm Springs itself was not an LGBT-friendly place.
Oh.
For a number of years, Cathedral City was the place that gay bars were first allowed because it was unincorporated Riverside County. And the people in Palm Springs, in fact, Sonny Bono was our mayor years ago, and I suspect that he probably was not very LGBT friendly because his wife certainly is not. She was a state legislator, a U.S. legislator. So in Palm Springs, it took a number of years before the first gay bars opened, and then the gay resorts opened up here. And those were the clothing optional resorts. Those could exist behind walls, right? Behind closed doors, as Charlie Rich once sang about a different thing. But still, that's how it came about here. But the gay bars, you had to drive to Cathedral City. Finally, Street Bar on Arenas opened up, 35 years ago, I think it was.
That was one of the first gay bars in Palm Springs.
It was
Street Bar?
It was.
Wow, Brad. Still operating today, still very popular.
And it was called I think it was called a street bar named Desire or a streetcar named Desire, but it had a slightly different name, same location. And so we have a very rich LGBTQ plus history here in Palm Springs. About half of our residents are LGBTQ plus. But to your point, the radio station transcends all of that. We play, peppy, happy dance music, and we go all the way back to the 70s, to that, those early Stonewall days, all the way up to today's current music. And those bookends of music are filled in between with a lot of great information and news. And what we have really tried to do is change those hearts and minds.
You sure do. And you do an incredible job. Your morning show with John Taylor is so fun to listen to. I stream it from LA whenever I'm not in town to listen to it. It's just super terrific.
Yep.
It's so much fun. There's so much to explore in community. And please, so Brad, here we are. And I love the rich history.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I love the desert community of where we're at today. So welcoming for community.
Yes.
It's a place where community belongs. In fact, our mayor is gay. And we'll explore that a little bit too. But Brad, please. It did not always have what you're teaching me, that Palm Springs wasn't originally this gay friendly.
Correct.
And if I'm correct, KGAY FM 106.5 is the only operating gay devoted full-time gay radio station airing on FM networks and streaming everywhere in the world that there's electricity and internet.
Right.
And it's being streamed. My God, I keep looking at the map with the dots popping up everywhere. and it's proof.
Yeah.
That there's value in being a pioneer in life. And you are an incredible one, so much so that you've won the award for the top #1 rated radio station here in the Coachella Valley 4 years running.
Yes.
Top morning host in the Coachella Valley. And you know what I love? KGAY wasn't here it wasn't here always.
No.
You brought this to life, and it wasn't here in the life before you brought it here. Can we explore a little bit, please? Can you take us back just a teeny bit? Because this is all about believing boldly. And here we are in your studio. I can't love it. And we're here, proof that yes, you can. And that at first life starts with visions and dreams, and then the belief of the dreams we envision. And I think, Brad, you shared that story because you grew up, I'm guessing, in an era similar to mine where it wasn't broadly accepted to be a gay man.
That's true.
And to live your authentic lifestyle, comfortably holding hands with another that you choose to.
Right.
I think many of us in life have visions and dreams, but they might feel so boldly outside of the comfort norm. How were you able to get comfortable when you look back in your life, Brad, and you visualize where we're at today? Sure. But it wasn't always accepted. What were some of the tools in your earlier journey that made you be okay with stepping outside of everybody else's story?
Well, I think quickly, I could, because I do want to talk about the radio history of this, but my own personal journey. What was the most significant for me was my parents' acceptance when I came out to them at age 29. I was like 28 or 29 before I came out. So it was later in life for me. I was in radio and I was moving from station to station and market to market, trying to get to the holy grail of maybe a Chicago or a New York City, because that's how radio was. We always wanted to get to the bigger markets. And I was in a small town, but I was tired of hiding. I had a friend that had died in the AIDS crisis, and I didn't know him very well, but it was somebody that had an impact on me, and I think that actually helped me push me out of the closet, knowing that he had passed during the AIDS crisis, and no one was talking about it. The government wasn't talking about it. So once I came out and I could boldly go where I had never gone before, it allowed me to kind of start thinking about where I would be going with all of this. And within a few years, I got to Chicago. And in Chicago, I was working for a major broadcasting company. It was actually owned by the Mormon Church.
Oh,
now, they were okay with me being gay, but there was no gay programming there. And after I left that company and went to another, and later on, then I started working with a nonprofit organization called KGAY Radio. They were the pioneers in Chicago. A guy named Alan Amberg created a radio show that he bought time on AM radio stations, broadcasting this radio show, a variety show, mostly talk. And then, so he did this all by himself. He bought the airtime. He had to sell the airtime. He had to produce the show. It was a one-man band for a while. He eventually made it into a nonprofit, got that non-for-profit going. I joined the board of the nonprofit, and eventually he relinquished control of this. We hired hosts. We had Alexandra Billings, who's a well-known television personality, transgender. She was one of our hosts. We had all kinds of other people. We paired like a drag queen and a lesbian together, and and a gay man and a comedian. Like, we had all these fun little. And so every day we'd do this radio show, and that was kind of the precursor. That gave me a sense and an idea of where I wanted to go. My next step in gay or LGBT radio is I got connected with a talk show host named Kerry Harrison, who I knew in Chicago. He moved to Los Angeles, and we had a vision to do a show on Sirius XM satellite radio when it was just Sirius. They started a channel called OutQ. We became the first morning show on Sirius OutQ radio back in 2001 or 2002. Frank DeCaro was on the channel. We had all kinds of people on our radio channel. And so we learned more and more. Like, we got more education. We felt more emboldened to do LGBT radio. And ultimately, we didn't last on that channel very long, for maybe just a few years. And then I went back to work for a company, and I was doing integrated media between digital and radio. But I eventually found my way here to Palm Springs in 2012, having been downsized from corporate America one too many times, iHeartRadio and the big radio companies. And that's when I started Gay Desert Guide. Gay Desert Guide came first here in Palm Springs in 2013, and it was an LGBTQ directory and website for everything happening in the Coachella Valley, a business directory, attractions, news, events, all those kind of fun things happening. And then KGAY came along a few years later.
I love all of this. Brad, teach me, please. When you were in the earlier years with the original show, the first one, how did the market receive such a thing back in that era? How did that do in Chicago?
So it was the late 90s and early 2000s, late 90s, I guess it was. It was well received. People really did enjoy. Again, it wasn't wildly popular, but it had a niche audience, and that's all we needed to do. We were super serving the LGBTQ community. They would listen to the show. We helped promote the gay bars, the events, the pride celebrations, all those things. So we became part of the community, the LGBT community, and people really embraced it because it was something new and different.
Totally new. And that's what I mean by pioneers, breaking the rules, creating normalcy out of something that used to be odd. They used to call us queer, huh? Yeah. So odd. So I say that all on purpose because here you went to Sirius Radio, brought them a cultural channel that was tuned into. And then as you shared with us, and can I ask, please, when you designed these moments and you brought them to life on radio, and then they did come to their end, how did that affect you? Did that ever affect you to think that they didn't like it or it wouldn't work? Or were you always positive into believing that this, of course, is going to work and they're absolutely going to love it? Was there any doubt on the journey?
I don't think there was a lot of doubt. There was certainly disappointment. Okay. I think that's the sense is that, these larger companies, many times they did these channels out of obligation. They didn't really believe in them. I think they did them because it checked a box for diversity and inclusion, right? And, when the economy turned downward, it was an easy thing to cut because they didn't put a lot of effort into the sales or the operations. It was just kind of checking the box. But we always had a sense that this was going to be successful. And Chris Schiebel, our program director, did the proof of concept with the radio music part of this format in San Francisco and in Chicago. Now, there were the Chicago station was called Energy. There were no real overtly gay hosts or overtly gay shows, but it was a dance music radio station that attracted an LGBTQ or mostly gay audience, right? And so we had that proof of concept. I had proof of concept that talking about things in our community and engaging with our community would work.
Yes.
And so what KGAY really is kind of a marriage of those two things. It's the music that Chris and his heritage in radio had done, along with what I was able to do in terms of the talk and the entertainment part and the informational part.
Yes, that's what I love about KGAY. Please, you're going to love it when you tune in. Just ask. All you've got to do is do this. Hey, Siri, play 106.5 FM KGAY. And sure enough, there you'll be listening to great music. It's so true. Uplifting. Yeah. And it is also the stories shared on the network. It's the uplifting inspirations that are provided consistently. It
is, and it's entertainment too. We have drag queens, we have entertainers. Kathy Griffin has been on the show. We've had all kinds of great entertainers and actors and a lot of allies that are performing in the area. But in this last year since the election, we've had to take a more serious bend to this whole thing.
Yes.
Yes. And so when we were more happy talk, we knew there were always, issues with politics, and we could see the storm clouds, I think, on the horizon with this election, because there was so much hate and so much negativity, especially towards the LGBT community and the T in our community. So we were taking less of a entertainment bent, and it started getting more political. And since the election, it's gotten extremely political.
Well, it's a great space for people to feel safe to talk about things that they're affected by. And that's why I love life. Why? We're all feeling our own feelings uniquely. And nobody's as different they are different from each other. We shouldn't always feel the same, but we should all have a community to come to that supports the things that are valuable to us. And I love you for creating a space, Brad, that invites people to feel safe, a community to become a part of. So much so you ranking in the top of everything, breaking records year after year, bringing normalcy, bringing people out in different countries a voice so they can hear that they're heard and that they belong and that this is their space in the world also. And KGAY is a voice of that. I just love what you do. I love the Gay Desert Guide. Do you know what I love about what you do, Brad, with your Gay Desert Guide? I didn't know it's been running that long. Shame on me for taking so long to find it. I read it every Friday. Everybody, you'll sign up for the gaydesertguide.com. You'll sign up to be on the weekly newsletter.
That's right.
So entertaining, so incredible, so chock filled of great knowledge about community and, great things to do.
Exactly.
I love it.
Our top 3 list every week.
Yes, it's my favorite part. I look so okay. So it's so fun to come to LA, no matter where we live in Southern California. I come from LA to the desert. Yeah. But what I love about the Gay Desert Guide, look at, I'm getting goose pimples. Why? Because I read it and I want to know what I'm going to do. And there's all these things to pick from. And they're really exciting.
There are. And there are events that are not even LGBTQ specific.
Correct.
Right? There's, Splash House and, Coachella and all those things. But our community goes to those and participates
100%.
in those.
It feels welcomed. That's what I loved about last year. Yeah. This was the coolest thing. So Brad and I, if you have not seen us, we're on HGTV last year. You can find us streaming now. But I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And we're about ready to shoot a television show again for national TV right after our podcast is done today. We're heading out over to a space called Living Out Loud, and a community developed for the gay lifestyle and the allies that support it. An apartment community that's pure luxury, anywhere from 1 and 2 bedrooms. And these were built for us to feel safe. Yes. And it's just, I just can't wait to get over there and see that as well. And what I want our listeners to know, because I know that you're hearing us from wherever you are.
Right.
May I please if you're somebody and you're part of this community and you're not feeling wanted, safe to be your authentic self, please. I mean, this podcast is not designed to get you to move, but I want you to know that if you chose to move, might Coachella Valley be a place that you'll love living in? You know why? Because it's not just the gay radio station. It's not just the gay desert guide. It's not just Brad and his family, but it's an entire community embracing every letter in our alphabet, but authentically from the heart space. Yes. And it's not one block. It's an entire Coachella community. And our community is bold. And we were here, and I thought it was the coolest thing. For those who may not know, Palm Springs has its own professional hockey team now.
Yes.
And its own arena is gorgeous, my God. Yes. So modern, so easy to get in and out of. I'm so impressed. But what was more impressive, Brad, was, well, it was KGAY night. What? How does a hockey team have KGAY night? It was everywhere. It was packed. It was so much fun. The energy.
I know.
Brad, I think a lot of this gets to happen, and I think you affect more people than you even know you touch. You're such a beautiful person. You bring so much joy to life.
Thank you.
You bring so much life to the people that get to interact with you, my friend, even if it's just digital in Europe or somewhere ever place, Brad. You, my friend, are the reason why they get to hear all of this and to find the space. I thank you. You've touched my heart. You've allowed me to think differently as a individual, as a gay man. We spend most of our time now in the desert because of what community feels like for Jack and I. Yeah. And I just love it. This city is stunning because there's stunning people making the city beautiful.
Very true.
And Brad, I know you're not the mayor of the community, but I suggest yes, you are.
No,
I know. No, you know, but that's of the city.
Of the city.
I'm talking about the community. You are our community's digital mayor.
Well, thank you.
Creating a space that's safe, creates a space that inspires, and creates spaces that invite and normalize. I love you for who you are. I love you for what you invite others to live. And you're constantly focused on giving. You're giving to community, giving them a reason to wake up each day, giving them a reason to celebrate. Yes. And giving them a space to talk about things that are affecting them emotionally. And as you're right, this climate has emotional feelings that are dramatically felt. And it's no fun to have those if we can't express them safely. And I love the home you create for different thought. And everybody's thought has the right to be theirs. But at the end of the day, it's one planet. It's one world. Just give each other a hug. You know, I think it's the contrast of the diversity that makes life so interesting. Right? It would be so beige if we all wore the same clothes with the same thought, eating the same hot dog. That'd be so boring.
If I wore black today like you wore black, it'd be very different. But no, you wore black and I wore light blue.
Exactly. And I don't even wear black, but I did today. Yeah, you're right. In the desert heat.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Well, this is proof. And your proof, Brad. And that's why I know these podcasts and these moments are so specially important. It's because I think for many, it's hard to believe that the dreams we're sitting in that aren't supported by everybody around us have the right to be realized. And I think it's super important for people to meet others that were faced with that same obstruction and found a way to get to the other side anyway. It's hard to believe we can as well unless we see somebody else doing it first. And I just love your willingness to share your beauty today here on this podcast. I love what we're about to go film for the American Dream TV. And for those listening, you're going to love watching it. Brad and I have so much fun together.
We do.
Oh my gosh. Last year we went to the Trixie Motel. We were just Velvet Rope. We were literally exploring the city's fun.
Oh, it was so much
the gay fun.
It was.
Yeah.
No
and
doubt.
KGAY night, we closed it out at the arena. That was something to see.
It was an amazing day. And at the end, there was such exhilaration and exhaustion at the same time.
And you and the mayor dropped the puck.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's KGAY day, it is. And the director of the arena, Gina, just a straight woman with so much support. So that's why I love about this community. Those listening, the Coachella Valley loves you. for who your authentic self is. If you want to come out and throw a wig on, bring that wig on. If you want to come out in a pink dress, bring that out. Whatever you want to do, this city wants you to do it.
Yes.
Why? Because it adds color. It adds texture. It lets us know that life is to be lived, and a safe space to live it through is right here in the Valley. Yeah. I just love that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for allowing me to to think about where I've been and how this has all come about. It goes so fast, right? That's the name of the Mary Louise Kellerbrook from NPR. It goes so fast, and it does. Your life doesn't necessarily flash before you, but it does go quickly, and I love having the opportunity to take the time to look back and to talk about where we came from. I think it's important to have this memorialized on video and on audio. This will be something that future generations will study and appreciate.
Yes, that there was a voice speaking out that was protecting rights, that was speaking about people affecting others in a negative way and standing up to that voice. Yeah. It's 100%. Yeah. I just love it. And so for those of you that have tuned in today, this has been amazing, hasn't it? Yes. This is proof that yes, you can. It's proof that there's no dream too bold to unlock. And it's the belief that you create that will show you how to do it. And may I please, I think it's really important to choose where you live. I think we become more of who we are by those we surround ourselves with. And for those listening to us now, might this be an invitation for you to self-reflect? Are you unlocking the maximum level of personal joy doing the things you're doing, your career, your dining out, your weekend spent? Does that tickle your joy at the highest level? And if the answer is no, might today's podcast be a moment to think about what else is possible? Here's what I've learned, and you heard Brad say it. It's so true. Time goes by so quickly. We go once in these bodies. I think it's incredibly valuable to make choices and just know it's impossible to fail. Life is all about the experiences we create in the life we're living, and they don't always feel good. And that's an opportunity to readjust. And so might this, if your level of joy is not activated, readjust. And just know that you won't fail. Surround yourself with others that will love you for you. And I wonder what you'll unlock in the life that you haven't done yet. I'm so glad you tuned in today. This has been an incredible episode with Brad. We're going to go run over to a space where you could actually choose to live. This is a 55 and older community, full luxury homes. There's even a famous Alice B's right in the lobby. This is a renowned chef that has come here to make that community extra special. So many events. You're going to have to tune in. We'll make sure you get the link so you can. So again, I'm so glad you tuned in. Brad, as we close out, I'd love to ask one question. If you could go back, so you came out at 29, please take us back. Let's say you get less than a minute, Brad, but you're allowed that special moment in life to go back and speak to your 20-year-old self. So you're 20 years old, you're a young adult male growing out in the world, but you're taking today's knowledge and you're going back in time to share it with your younger self. You have less than a minute. What does your younger self need to know?
My younger self needs to know that having an accepting family is, I think, tantamount to everything. And if you truly believe in where you're going and what you're going to be doing, your family will likely believe in that vision as well, and they will, in many cases, support you. I had a very supportive family, from grandparents to aunts and uncles all the way through. And I would have told my 20-year-old self, it's okay to come out now. You're going to be supported. And even if your family isn't going to support you, because many families don't support, you will find a family, a chosen family, that will support you.
It's true. We all don't get to pick family. I grew up in foster care. So most of us don't have, not everybody gets that. So choose your family.
Yep.
You can select, you can move. I did. I love it. I just love it. Brad, you're amazing. Thank you so
Scott.
much for sharing today. And thank you all for tuning in. And well, I can't wait to see what else we can find in this beautiful world of podcasting and the people that make life gorgeous. Thank you for sharing us. Thank you for leaving a great 5-star review. We get promoted more with other listeners when you leave a review about what you heard today. And if you enjoyed today's podcast as much as Brad and I enjoyed visiting with you, we sure would appreciate it. And we can't wait to say hi to you soon.